Welcome back to the e-learning classes from PUK-KEI Manipur. Akoi mamang the previous question number 7 solve tau ko do huji question number 7 next question ha bata question number 8 attempt tau si ko. Let me read out the question. Kiran Textile Limited issued 50,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 4 per share and 2,000 6% preference shares of 100 each at a par payable as follows ko. On application, 3.5 for equity shares and 30 for preference shares. On allotment, 6.5 including premium and 6.5 sida the equity shares kita magta di ka doge haba matamda mal patara the face value 10 rupees to issue tawgi bani ko. So including 6.5 hyper matamda di 4 rupees sama included oil ko. That means 6.5 includes rupees 4 premium ko for equity shares ko, and for preference shares tana 20 rupees oil ko. On first call 2 for preference shares 25. On first call equity share tana 2 lere, then for preference shares 25 lere ko. All these shares were fully subscribed, call up and paid ko. Habadi call up the company Kiran Textile Limited has issued two types of shares. One is equity share and the other is the 6% preference shares. There are two types of share. One is equity share and the other is preference shares. So the company is issuing both types of shares, and the way of receiving the money, they are split in these patterns. On application, 3.5 for equity shares and 30 for preference shares. On allotment, 6.5 including premium for equity shares and 20 for preference shares. On first call, 2 rupees for equity shares and 25 for preference shares. And final call, 2 rupees for equity shares and preference shares, 25 rupees. And whatever the companies issue to the public, all the shares are fully subscribed and all this money are called off again, and the payment has also been received. Record these transactions in journal and cash book. Here the question is demanding that we are going to prepare one journal entry and a cash book. When the question is demanding cash book, we are going to maintain two types of accounts. One is for journal and the other is for cash book. Whenever we prepare cash book, when we prepare cash books, how one question is if demanded or we are not going to write banki receipt of payment receipt of since journal sangway means we are going to write separately in the cash book, and cash book ama separate taroni duna ka doge haba matamda ekoina paisa se phangpa paisa chatkhiba, all those transactions which are related to bank and case ko, bank or case or whatever transaction that is related to bank will be recorded only in the cash book, and those transactions which doesn't involve any case or bank will be recorded in the journal, as it is a part of subsidiary book or journal proper na koi na wai thai nam class 11 da ko tam khidana ko adu record taro kani ko yan tai ko aduna ekhoi huji akhoi maintain to direction na hangai di journal entry saraga lakpani huji ti ekhoi journal entry su sagni duga cash book su sagni ko at the same time ko puna samina deni ko aduna puna samina si ko je ai huji question se sida thamage ko aduga solve tawna nam tawge aina cash book sana na bagi dam tak si cash book yama maintain tawre do journal yama so do maintain tawre ko khangani ko. Question se solve to bayan na cash ki na kamai record tawgadage duga bank journal ki na kamai record tawgadage habdu tawmina si ko i han ba matamda aikoina khangdo se in the first entry we are going to receive the money. So those part this is the part of journal entry where we receive money. So those transactions that involves bank transaction will be recorded in the cash book as mentioned earlier in the beginning of this video ko aina pan give ko admine tawdana ko de taradi koi receive tawbagi paisa bank involved tawba transaction kudimak som the record tawrasi, and those that doesn't involve any bank transaction ko adun som the record tawrasi ko journal gizre ko adu taradi ai hujik makha continue to roke ko ihan hanba matam de khoina khangdo si mana ke dogam at the time of application we are going to receive money. So Let us recall that bank account debited to share application or see the 6 preference shares piramani now 6% preference share lakadoni ko. So the entry will be to kai lakani have application ki pashani we are receiving for application ko duna share application account ko. Share application account that we receive in the bank will be recorded here ko. And the amount is issue with the 50,000. The company is issuing 50,000 equity shares, so they will be receiving, the company will be receiving 50,000 into 3.5 ko. So the amount is 50,000 into 3.5. 50,000 into 3.5 multiply to matam da kya tage hai matam no 1,75,000 taba male ko 1,75,000. And also the company is issuing preference shares shares to issue to ko. So the company will be receiving for the preference share money should receive the running ko adan 2 Magi preference shares the 6% ka. The name of the preference share which the Kiran Textile Company Textile Limited is issuing is 6% preference shares ka. 6% preference application account ko aduga. And the number of the preference shares na only 2,000 ni ko. So 2,000 and irage ko 2,000 into 30 rupees ko. That is 3 to the 6. How much? 60,000 tareka. This comes to the end of the first entry of journal entry. The journal entry ki part lo reko. Next tika to have the transfer to go ni transfer to entry di so journal entry ki taroke ko. Si jiga hanagi format to kitang khena bani ko. Aduna journal ki reko taroke journal da ka to have matam da yeng si ko. Number 1 the journal entry number 1 the lak to se ka do have the share application shina share capital the transfer to bani dun ko the equity share application account ko sorry debit e double ko equity share application jo paisa fang ki issue tau gi dagidi 6% preference share su issue tau gi ko aduna animak se transfer tau toni ko preference 6% preference share application matam gi obani no ko account to equity share capital on thok toi ba ko transfer tau re ko to 6% preference share capital equity share equity share capital transfer to 6% preference share 6% preference share capital transfer to ko aduga magi amount kya lakadage to yeng si ko amount se kya no haba matam da equity share gi na man issue to gi do ka do ge da magi mamal se the company is issuing 50,000 equity shares have ko. So 50,000 into the issue application price is 3.5 ni ko 3.5 ko equation si je ani se multiply to matam da kya ta ge ni yeng si ko 50,000 into 3.5 to matam da kya ta ge 1 lakh ka 1,75,000 ta re ko 1,75,000 adagi amana kya no preference share the company is issuing only 6% 2,000 number of preference share is 2,000 ko 2,000 say 6% preference shares ka have name ko aduna kai dog have matam da 2,000 into how much 30 ko price of preference shares in 30 ko 2,000 into 30 is 60,000 ko then same amount jing ji dala ani ko zoom la ni ko 1,75,000 china 60,000 la ni ko generation iramani ko narration iba matam das man iraji ko share application and 6% preference share transferred to equity share capital and preference share capital. Sina first entry lo record. The second entry would be huji koi application gi loi record. The second entry jina ka doga mathang entry hata record. The next entry would be allotment gi ne ko allotment for equity shares and allotment for preference shares kani gi la ani ko. The allotment for equity shares ya hana tausi ko. Sida ji ka doga ha matam de koi paisa phang banatri ko paisa phang banatri bagi entry abanina we are not receiving any money here. We are going to inform to the shareholders that your share has been allotted. Share to allot tawre and inform tawre ko and you have a due amount of this sum kind of final coin uttoi ne ko aduna du entry tawsi ko due gi ko entry for due the due money gi ulasi ko adu ta de ka do ga ha matam na sida lak to se equity share allotment la ani ko equity share allotment account adu de 6% preference share allotment account ko to kadawdono kanalda tawdono haba matamda equity share capital account to 6% preference share capital ko account sila ani ko how much amount la ke have we are going to find it out ko that the share allotment gi damakta de ma si the premium ya we na ko equity shares ta ko adu gi jo ma ithoksi ko to equity share premium reserve ko Sumai ito amage ko equity share da issue taw ganina ma premium ji equity share da yawni equity share premium reserve na harage ko adu magi amount sing kya kya la ka doni yeng si ko out of 6.5 sidai da mo in the kai daw gam 4 rupees amadi premium oi khibu ko adu in ta padi kai daw gam na premium da lak toi je 4 into 50,000 la ane ko sim han ithoke ko premium je khai do ka premium ge lem hau dun equity share da 1000 se ko 4 5 ja kya no 20,000 ni ko 20 lakhs kya no 20 lakhs 2 lakhs ta ba ma le ko 2 lakhs ko adagidi preference shares tana kya na multiply ta preference shares ke da la ka da preference shares ke 30 20 ko 20 into my 2000 shares ni ko 2 ja 4 ko 40,000 la ni ko se da 40,000 la ani ko adagidi equity share capital na kya no 6.5 rupees lebani including premium we have to deduct that premium amount from 6.5 that means 2.5 lakh ani ko 2.5 ko 2.5 into ma 50,000 oida nga sai da 50,000 ko how much is the amount 2.5 into 50,000 lakh ta di 1 lakh 25,000 ta ma le ko 1 lakh 25,000 ko dai ko adagi sidagi 6% preference share gi allotment gi ma pass sida na mung kamaina igada ge ha matam ma di kadawge the total amount allotment amount the premium yaw gi de ko there was not premium for share allotment so we're going to write this exact amount which is written here ko sida iram bazina 40,000 igida na ko sida 40,000 la ani ko then akoina equity share allotment da di ka dogam tan including premium yaw ga ma issue taw gi bo bani na including my price to ka dogam 6.59 lakh ne 6.5 into 15,000 6.5 into 15,000 di kya ta rage se da sai ani je punjal laga ju ta ni ko the amount coming of here in the equity share capital 1,25,000 in addition with the securities premium 2 lakhs ki ko do 3 lakh ka 25,000 taira 3,25,000 ko smana ide ko se da lakh to se equity share and 6% preference share capital amount due ko dalore ko and due in ishan birani ko this is the akoina the journal the transaction ko Then comes to the bank transaction lani ko, when we demand money to the shareholders ko, it will those amount will be deposited to the bank ko. Aduna bank la deposit tar pamatam da sida sangani ko. Adun sangbagi entry amuk tawsi ko. Adu changba matam da koina paisa da phangdoi se kai phangdono na haba matam da equity share allotment ga 6% preference share allotment ga phangdoi ne ba ko aduna smile irasi ko to equity share allotment ko. Equity share allotment da phangdoi se nga sagit sige 3,25,000 sima dum phangani ko aduna 3,25,000. Then here comes 6% preference share allotment ko. Sida nam allotment ge mu kai kya phangani ha bam da 40,000 ji phangani ko. Yai ko sida bank ki entry sida le ko sumaina tuan sem ga da bani ko adagidi next la to ji ka doge ham ha ba matam da hojik ai koina khang da ji first call gi la ani ko first call gi hoje mu entry mu pi ra se ba ko first call gi entry pi ra ke ko number 3 subada ko number 3 subada first call gi ra ji ko due first call gi due le ba matam gi ha ta ra ni ko due transaction ko abi tadri equity share first call account debited adagidi 6% preference share first call account debited to equity share capital transfer to budo ko equity share capital account to 6% preference share capital ko si ithora ke ko amount je kaya la ka ta ge hadu yeng si ko mang sai first call ki matam dal pani ko gi bani equity dana aduga preference shares dana 25 rupees ko bani ko dana preference shares ke na 25 dana 25 into ma share ma sing kana 2000 issue to gi ba ko adu di 25 into 2000 di kya tar ge na hai matam da khoi na yeng adu ma yeng bam sang ni ko 25 into 2000 kya tar ge yeng si ko 25 into 2000 is 50,000 ta bama ko 50,000 tai ko 50,000 tare adagi amana ka ano ha bama tanda 2 into 50,000 work to ko magi equity shareholder na equity share gi di mana ka issue ta riba share ma sing 50,000 ne ba ko so the amount will be 2 into 50,000 which is 1 lakh tare ko 1 lakh tare and the same amount is sidon chapman nan lakh ani ko sida ju ka doge ha bama tanda 2 into 50,000 la ani ko aduga sida 1 lakh la ani ko adu preference shares ki su sida 25 into 2000 ko sika target 50,000 tare ko final la ko sida ai narration roge sida do narration dana ka equity share first call and 6% preference share first call money due and iramu ko isi chando mandre du dunani ko ina sida narration lauthor ai se ko sumaina idoini ko then sigi money is due le rabani na hoji we are going to ask to the shareholder to pay the due amount ko we will be demanding ko to the shareholders demander ani moina paisa deposit of salary so if the amount is deposited to the bank then we are going to write this entry again in the cash book ko adu tadi ka doge ha tam the to equity share first call equity share first call ki paisa phang ni ma kya no phang do je 1 lakh ko the bank will be receiving 1 lakh rupees for equity share first call and the bank will also receiving the 6% preference share first call money ko in the bank after demand taruba matung da ka haitare ne ko sina kano ke cash book emal lore ko then comes to the number 4 journal entries ko number 4 ki journal entries ta tawje hujik final call ni ko on final call equity share the rupees 2 and preference share 25 rupees ko so sigisu due gi matam gi iraji ko we are going to write only the due transactions here in the journal entry and those amount which we receive in the bank will be written in the cash book te idoine ba ko so doi tar di ai hujik irake ko mo equity share final call account ko 6% preference share final call ko ai handwriting ji kitang kana tawre thi ba ma le ko ai je changada saludran sum khanjan ra leibaga ai masa gi handwriting je kitang jo ai je adum kana tawbani ko ai je yam thuna thuna ibagi habit am leigi na maram mor kan da ko adu adum pa badi thom gadran khale ai explain tarak pa je da wahai si de ju kup up tawna ba hona biu ko aduna sita leri se 2 into my equity shares is kind of 50,000 never ko 2 into 50,000 is 1 lakh ko adagidi 25 ko 25 into 2000 this is 50,000 ko 2 kanadala kani habam tam the equity share first final call to equity shareholders equity share capital la ko to equity share capital so the same amount la ni 2 into 50,000 adagi 2 6% preference share capital cost then mo 25 my 25 rupees oi bana maram kan 25 lakh into 2000 ko sika tare 2 into 50,000 dika targe 1 lakh tare ko ngasai first call ga final call ga amount se mana bazani mai je ko dun nan sab manan tare je ko do not confuse ko here kai to ga habam tam na sina due gi matam gi ne ba ko sina due matam gi ne ba ko due entry na ha ga ju khang nai ko so the amount when koina due leiba matam da de koi we are going to inform to the shareholders ko paisa pe bi ro na ne so da paisa thir ni ko paisa thir pa matam da koi cash book ta mu chang ani ko sina lak tu je to equity share final ko account ko ma 1 lakh la ani ko sida 2 6% preference share final call la ka da ko sida so sida um kai la ka da habam tam 50,000 la ani ko ma ngasai se da due le give amount sing se from the receipt ta re na lo da ne ko dai ko si me am jing je koi sum after ni ko journal gi de koi et out draga su are sida dum close of salama su are ba ko we can close here ko for the journal entries ko and this is the end for the journal entries in this question ji ko na ko for this question this is the end for the journal entry ko aduga we are going to find out the missing figures on the credit side ko credit side level missing figures to koi find out to ni ko sida level amount sing se matang tin jan ba matam da kya tagging si ko 9 lakh tai ko 9 lakh tarame ko sigin 9 lakh amount je koi bank da paisa fangen lo ni ko duga koina in class 11 we have already learned that the debit side has to be tallied with the credit side ko don tally to where number from the there were no transactions on the credit side aduna ka doge da by balance carried down ko sigi whole amount simagla ani ko 9 lakh ko la ani ko duga sida sumu 9 lakhs even ko sigi 9 lakh ni tally to ko magi balancing figures is the later ko sina balancing figure ko wi ko balancing figure na ibiram ge ko hauji ko ne khang na ba haitar ni ko balancing figures la ani ko sida loire this is the end for this question number 8 ko question number 8 ki this sida loire ko question jam na lu balante yam na live question ka tang oi ko so message na end ore ko if you like my videos please give likes subscribe and don't forget to comment. Thank you.